Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome to the last question mark challenge for the 2019 Italian Grand Prix. Today we take on this challenge with Sebastian Vettel in his Ferrari. How could we not drive one of the Ferraris here at Monza for this challenge? This video being uploaded after qualifying on Saturday, but before Sunday's race, so if you do watch this on Saturday, then do let me know your predictions for the race tomorrow. It was a very interesting qualifying, to say the least. Q3 was a bit of a sham, a bit of a weird one, and sometimes F1 teams, you think they're so clever, so many clever clogs and engineers and whatnot, and then you see how it actually turns out with the planning of all their strategies of, who's getting the tow and when we should go out. It was, all a bit ridiculous, but nonetheless, it meant that Leclerc got on pole position. But let me know your predictions below for the race tomorrow, and then do be sure to come back after the real-life race is over and let me know how you got on in terms of predictions, and also just to see how I did in terms of sometimes in the past with these last question mark challenges, we have jinxed things before, we have predicted them correctly, either race winners, the podium order, even sometimes the correct top 5 or something like that, or the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Hopefully I don't jinx Sebastian Vettel himself too much by starting last place here for him today. Hopefully he doesn't have a kind of spin like he did in 2018 here. The strategy will be a one-stop. It's a 25% race, so short and sweet. We have to really be punchy with the overtakes. Shouldn't be a problem though with the Ferrari at Monza. Good car in a straight line, plenty of slipstream opportunities here, so I think we could actually aim for a very high podium, or even maybe the coveted last to first. So here we go then, fire lights are out, and we're underway for the challenge today at the Italian Grand Prix. It's a slow start there from Giovinazzi, as it obviously was a slow start for me as well, as it always is versus the AI, but we're going to now try and go down the inside of as many cars as we can here. Raikkonen with a massive lockup almost pushes me towards the grass there, so instead I have to back out of that and instead go side by side with his teammate Gio, and Gio is very aggressive there and almost forces me onto the grass, and now we're toe-to-toe with Albon there in the Toro Rosso. Right now we've switched back, and Albon is back in the Toro Rosso, and Gasly's back in the Red Bull for this challenge, unlike the last one we did. But now we go round the Curva Grande on the left-hand side and just overtake Giovinazzi, squeeze him out, but he's being so aggressive there. I guess he would be at his home GP, fair play, but we get up into P16. But look at this now, look at this right here is what it was like in Q3. This was pretty much Q3. You have like 5 cars there, all bunching up in the Lesmos, but we're still managing to make the overtakes. We go down the inside of Raikkonen and then get 2 passes done on Norris and Kimi, and now we're going to get a nice tow on Carlos Sainz as we go towards Escari. Then should have the speed to maybe shoot this down the inside. It will be a bit of a late lunge, but this is going to have to be. We need to get a move on here, and we need to get past these next 3 cars because there's a bit of juicy clean air up ahead as we go through then the exit of Escari, and flat out on the exit we get a nice line with Ricciardo behind Kvyat, behind another car. So it's a 4-car train here, literally nose to tail, actually so, and we dive down the inside of 2 cars there. Kvyat with a bit of a broken front wing there, actually. If you look close enough, that end plate of his is broken, so Ricciardo's gone down the inside, and we're up into P11 though as we cross the line towards lap number 2. This will be nearly up into P10 in 1 lap, which is absolutely amazing. But here we go now, pulling with this Ferrari engine in the back of our car, willing the car on. The crowd on the left probably going crazy. We try and make this move down the outside. It's a very late dive. Lock up on the front right. Hulkenberg's got some damage on the front wing as well, so I suspect Hulkenberg and Kvyat came towards, but we're up into P10, and so we're already in the points paid positions. It's only literally been just over 1 lap, just about there, as we've got through the first 2 turns. So absolutely awesome stuff. Purple second sector as we had clean air on this second run, and so we've already caught up to some more cars here, tail-ended by Romain Grosjean. It's another big train here, so all these guys are bunching up quite a fair bit and staying in the slipstream of one another as we now go ahead and see Valtteri Bottas in the fast lap of the Grand Prix. So I think the 2 Mercs right now are out ahead of Leclerc as it stands, but here we go now, trying to get the slipstream off Romain Grosjean. Where do we go? We're going to go on the left-hand side. Magnussen and Gasly are fighting, as well as another car. I think that's a Racing Point, is it? Yeah, Lance Stroll, that is ahead of them as Gasly and Magnussen go side by side. We have to finish the move on Grosjean there. Actually still work for that there on the outside of turn 1, and now you can see Magnussen pushing his way past Gasly there. Gasly off put a little bit, so here we go now, going to swing through to the right hand side. We're going to have to go the long way round on the next left-hander as we're left boxed in here by Magnussen and Gasly there, but we're going to try and make it work, leave Magnussen in the room. We have to cut the curb a little bit to make sure we gave Magnussen enough room there, so hopefully the FI didn't see too much issue with that, but that was fine margins, I will admit. But I was trying to give Magnussen the max room I could on the inside. They didn't want to spin him out as I overtook him, but now we close up to Lance Stroll. You can see the mega downforce of the Ferrari compared to the likes of the Racing Point car. Yellow flags up ahead, I believe that's for Ricciardo, I think, that's retired from this Grand Prix then, and Stroll pinches me a little bit to the left-hand side, almost like Gasly pinched Raikkonen in quali, I think it was, earlier on in Q1, I think, as we now go around the outside there and make the move in parabolic stick, and we're up into P6. So now we're in the zone of the top team. So now we just push flat out now as we move on towards lap number 5. We've got the purple fast lap of the Grand Prix so far. We go ahead and set another fast lap of the GP in clean air. The Ferrari is absolutely flying here, which is a little bit odd then to see that Leclerc is actually behind both Mercs and is fighting Verstappen and a Racing Point car, Sergio Perez. The Racing Point's doing mega stuff here. You know, Stroll was there fighting Gasly. You've got Perez here fighting Leclerc for P3 in this Grand Prix. I think that is pretty much. Yeah, it is P3, and he's side by side with Leclerc. This is absolutely insane. I don't know how on earth Perez has done that, but he is doing it, and Leclerc's struggling for some reason. I don't know if he has damage or not. Might do. I kind of hope he does, because my car is absolutely going like the wind. And here we go now. We move to the inside there. Verstappen has some damage on the front wing, I can see there. So these guys, the AI, have been so erratic in this Grand Prix here, and have just really done a number on each other on the front wing. So that's actually maybe why I'm catching up to these guys so quickly. Maybe less so the pace of me and the pace of the Ferrari, more so these guys all have damage on their front wings, but it was a very nice calculated move on Verstappen there, just to go a little bit tighter on the line on the left before switching to the right. But here we go now, Perez with a move to the inside, side by side through Ascari. They'll go, and that will slow them down right, so we're going to go and nip it through to the left-hand side, inches from smashing the rear end of Perez there on the rear left tyre, but we make it work. Calculated decision again, and we're up into P3 of the Italian Grand Prix. And now we have the space to try and chase after Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton now. They're pretty much on top of each other on the minimap there on the dot, so I've got to hope that they start fighting each other quite a fair bit, and that's how I can try and get into their fights and try and get towards the race win, perhaps. As we move on to lap number 8, we're up into P2 as Hamilton makes his pit stop. We're going to continue on and chase after Valtteri Bottas there and see if we can try and pump out some more good times on these soft tyres, because the tyre wear isn't too bad there, and by the time we get to the end of lap number 8, we're pressurising Bottas into a mistake of a lock-up there, and it's been an exceptional in-lap as a whole, really, so we should be in good stead maybe to try and be very close to Hamilton as well. Obviously, we've already closed up the gap to Bottas. I think he was behind Hamilton, though, before the pit stop. So I think we've closed up the gap to him, but I think Hamilton will still be ahead of us. So we still have some work to do here. But now the pit stop, the one and only pit stop of the video, and there's a bit of a delay there as we have to hold up for Bottas. And actually, we've lost time basically to Bottas. You can see the distance now with that hold up. It's actually quite major, and also we unfortunately held up Leclerc, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come for tomorrow's race. Me doing a double stack on Leclerc, but I wanted to come in that lap. I had to, and unfortunately, obviously, you guys know on the F1 games, unfortunately, the AI teammates can never not decide to come in on lap they were always going to come on. So Leclerc was always going to pit that lap, and I just decided to not pit the previous lap with Hamilton. Instead, I wanted that extra lap that I did to catch up to Bottas, and in the end, it didn't matter because I lost time to Bottas in the pit lane. So yeah, kind of in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have even bothered. But here we go now, around the outside of Giovinazzi, who's on the soft tyres there. So I don't know, Gio's on the softs. I think he must have started the medium, so I don't know what I honestly don't know what he was doing in that part of the track, actually, there. Honestly, I can't actually think of why he would have been there in P4, but there you go. As we move now through onto lap number 10, and the two Mercs have been fighting. They were just side-by-side in Ascari, and now they're going to be side-by-side into Parabolica as Bottas sends it down the inside of Hamilton. Hamilton locks up there, and Bottas forces a mistake from Hamilton, slows himself up. So here we go, we get a great slingshot literally there, literally catapulting the car towards the main pit straight. Purple last sector, we go through on Hamilton, get the toe off Bottas as well, swing through on the left, so we go right to left, and we overtake both Mercs in one straight down into turn 1. Little bit of contact with Bottas as he tries to go around the outside, but we go defensive there, and we're up into first place of the Italian Grand Prix in a Ferrari at Monza. Sebastian Vettel, absolutely awesome stuff there. And so we come through onto the last lap of the Grand Prix. Been taking it quite easy, actually, with the ERS here and the two Mercedes really falling away. I'm pretty sure Bottas, I think, or Hamilton, one of them had damage again on their front wing. So I don't know what it was about this race. Everyone was just going kamikaze, it looks like, in this race, because every AI car I was passing, at least one of them in the trains, had a front wing, a bit of their front wing end plate off. So I don't know what on earth was going on there, but it's been a very dominant and cool, collected control race there from there on once we got in the lead. Very Sebastian Vettel-esque drive from the olden days, the good old 4 championship days. We go through the last corner then to win the Italian GP with Sebastian Vettel and do the last to first question mark challenge. Last to first booked in. Obviously, we don't do it very, very often, but we've done it twice on the bounce now with Alexander Albon at Red Bull at the Belgium Grand Prix, and now at Monza with Sebastian Vettel. And like I said, hopefully I've not just jinxed anything for Sebastian Vettel. I've said it in the podcast actually previously that we did, the Pit Lane podcast, that you know, it would be very poetic for Sebastian Vettel to be the one that wins the Italian GP for Ferrari, to finally maybe, you know, kick the gremlins away, kickstart his kind of fresh slate for this season now, even though it's quite late on to the season. But it'd be quite poetic in a way of having 2 Ferrari wins on the trot and Vettel being the one. But obviously we don't know. The Mercs are right there. You know, Hamilton's on the front row. As I said, we're uploading this video after qualifying, but before Sunday. So just speaking about it a little bit, you know, I think it could be a very interesting race, actually. I think the Mercs might have a little bit more race pace, and they're showing off for sure. And so I wouldn't count on a 100% Ferrari locked-in win, but I think the favourite should be Ferrari. But I just have a feeling that Merc are going to be giving them a tougher time than they think, and maybe a lot of other people are thinking about. We'll have to see. Vettel's P4, so he has some overtaking to do. But nonetheless, that has been a great challenge for us. Last to first. So I guess we booked that in for Sebastian Vettel. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you are around to subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.